When and how people are able to register to vote in their state can have massive implications on voter turnout, voter demographics, and ultimately on the election results as a whole. 29 states currently require voters to register by a given deadline prior to Election Day. The deadline varies by state, with most falling between 8 and 30 days before the election. The remaining 21 states and Washington, D.C. have streamlined this process and enacted same-day voter registration, which allows a qualified resident of the state to register to vote and cast a ballot on the same day. There are two elements required to vote with same-day registration. The first is proof of residency. In pre-election day registration, also known as traditional registration, election officials have time to send a non-forwardable mailing to the prospective voter in order to verify the voter's residence before processing their application. Because this isn't possible with same-day registration, the prospective voter must present proof of residency at the time of registration or soon after registering. A current driver's license or ID card will suffice. In some states, documents such as a paycheck or a utility bill with an address are acceptable for proving residence. A few states also permit an already registered voter to vouch for the residency of an election day registrant. The other component is voter ID. All states that do same-day voter registration require that voters who register and vote on Election Day present documentation to verify their identity. Some states require a photo ID, others accept IDs without a photo. These elements, coupled with security measures, ensure that same-day registration is secure. These include casting of provisional ballots that are only counted once the voter's application is fully completed and verified. It also includes the use of statewide voter systems that are used to check and see if the voter has already casted a ballot. Such systems can provide real-time checks. Oaths and sworn affidavits are required to be signed, where voters acknowledge their eligibility and state that they haven't already voted in the election, and criminal penalties for fraudulent voting are in place, often as a felony. Cross-agency and interstate checks and verification is used to check applicants' information with numerous state and interstate organizations to ensure that voters aren't voting in multiple jurisdictions. Same-day voter registration can be more expensive and administratively intense. They often require the purchase of additional equipment, including e-poll books and ballot-on-demand printers, and implementing same-day voter registration can also require increased election staff and poll workers to register voters and verify votes. However, this investment is worth it. There is strong evidence that same-day registration increases voter turnout and is good for democracy. In states that have implemented same-day registration, studies have shown an increase of between 3 and 7% in voter turnout. This is excellent for the democratic process. There have been no cases of severe fraud from same-day voter registration. Do you think same-day registration should be implemented? If so, leave a comment below. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe.